What it do, fellas? So I want to get right into this. Y'all love when I get into it. I know sometimes I be talking my in the beginning, but I'm about to jump into it. Just give me a big thumbs up, all right? So fellas, sorry, with this title, this is strictly about when you appear, when you come around here, when this happens, whether it's for the first time or not, that you guys are hanging out, and it's time for the business to start going. It's time for things to start busting. This is the time where you have to come prepared, not necessarily when the action actually really starts. And so I had to really mention that because I will do a part 2, not only on this video, but I'll do a part 2, 3-ish, whatever, where I will do a separate video doing when it gets serious, when it gets down to the nasty and the business, and when you got to use your hands and you got to let her do her thing and she has to go for a ride with you or on you. You get me? Anyway, so you guys get the gist. Let's go ahead and start for real. So this is discussion, and I'll go back and forth from like my key points, okay? And please subscribe, okay, with your post notification on. All right, so the first thing is shaving too much or got way too much down there. Now, hold up, fellas, as in I'll explain the second part, because the second part isn't really a problem. First things first is men should always choose to have hair over not having hair because it'll make you look more masculine. And just to prove this point right now is that, you know, sometimes when guys don't have facial, and we're not talking about facial features, facial hair, but when guys don't have any hair on their face, have a bare face, oftentimes they might even be mistaken for a baby face, or a woman will look at him and be like, oh, he's kind of more on the cute side than the masculine aggressive side. So definitely hair does make you look more masculine. But now when we refer it back to down there, and this is the second half, which I'm just talking about a little bit. The second half is how, you know, if you do have it, there could be guys that are extremely, extremely hairy, and it becomes a whole nother story because it's not just down there. It gets to the point of your legs, your thighs. Sometimes, you know, we're not talking about back hair, but sometimes it gets to that point where, okay, you know what? She would much rather have a little bit less. And, you know, it's because in your genes, you grow a lot more than the other guy, right? So it might be too much. I'll explain a little bit more in a second. But so we can backtrack to this first half once again. Shaving, you guys. All right, so when you do have, when I say a little bit, compared to the too much, if you do, and you should if you're hairy, once again, but if you do shave, or when you do shave, fellas, just the same way a woman can look neat. Now, think about it. Don't think about it too extreme, and obviously, like, armpit hairs don't stay, right? Hair down there is not supposed to stay for a female. But there's other hairs that she keeps neat, right? If she was to have hair, she would keep it neat, like her eyebrows, all these types of things. For the girls that do like to keep their hair, for the most part, they'll try to keep it neat. So for you guys, you are supposed to keep your hair most times, so you have to keep it neat. Due to you having to keep it, a lot of times, some of you fellas just like, well, let me let it grow out. And the sad part, which, you know, I'm not really going to be talking about in this video, my recap will be talking about, you know, smelly balls. You don't want that. You don't want your thing smelly. Please don't. Just because you think she won't go down there, take a sniff or a taste. Don't come there not prepared. But let me not get off topic. Just wait for that part 2. Backtrack once again. If you have that hair and you don't want to shave it, you still should trim or just keep it neat. So basically, you don't have to always do something. It's not like, oh, make sure you're shaving all the time. No, for fellas, you guys have your routine. It probably works. But just the key things is your hair just doesn't have to be all over the place, and you want to make sure your hygiene is tip-top shape. And this is how we'll wrap up before I go back to how your hair could work really well if you do have a lot, and then we'll wrap up and then move on to the next point. Okay, so last thing I just have to say about the hair. The thing is, because once again, you guys are supposed to have it, the hygiene is going to really matter because you're going to sweat. Most times, you know, especially if you're about to get the steaming type of type of intercourse, the type of wildness going on. Y'all know about the I'm not even gonna say all that, but there's different types of ways, you know, you could have fun, and for hours and hours at a time, and a lot of sweat can be dripping, right? So fellas, that means when you have hair, the chances of you, and that's just gonna be facts, the chances of you smelling without you having deodorant on is gonna be pretty high, or obviously more on the high side than the low side, because the hair is there. Now, I'm not no scientist or whatever. Like, I'm just saying, when you know you go out and you don't put deodorant, you sweat, you're gonna smell. So just to refer back to a woman, obviously if she doesn't put deodorant on, which she should, it's not gonna be as bad as it would be for a man. Now, whatever, like hair catches a smell, whatever, the sweat is trapped in the hair, y'all get the point. Just keep yourself smelling good. You wanna smell sexy, you want to smell masculine, you want to smell attractive, and off the bat, the best way you can stay the whole entire time, the whole entire night, is having deodorant. And so y'all, women have their own techniques, but this is the part where, and then the last thing, you have to find your way. So deodorant, once again, is a common way, but sometimes it might mean you have to use your hands. For some, and this is a great example, for some girls, when they got to put deodorant underneath here, yeah, they sometimes use their hands, or they'll just spray, but they rub, or they use the other ways where, hey, it just sits and it works fine. Or it depends what type of deodorant they're using. There's obviously not just the spray. So take care of yourself, smell good, and do not come there thinking that, oh, okay, well, I might get away with it this one time, or it's not going to happen this way, where I need to be prepared, okay? And then the last thing, really simple with the whole leaving it on, like your hair, leaving a lot of hair, just as simple as keeping it trimmed to a minimum that's appropriate, or should be long because you like your hair long, or you want to keep it long, but not excessive where it's kind of like, dang, like, have you just like grown this your whole entire life and never done a single thing, a single trim? Or did you know, come out the womb bushy like that, like crazy, that, and you never touched it? So, you know, don't scare her off. And she doesn't want to go to the forest. She doesn't want to go to, you know, the desert. And she definitely doesn't want to go to the wet forest. Let me be more exact. So, you know, make it easier for a woman, but you have to still stay masculine and do what masculine guys do. So, you know, just take care of yourself. All right. Next thing is literally this one. And I have to explain this. Hear me out. Because whether you guys want to admit to it, or whether your friend has done this, or I know some of you fellas don't really talk about the bedroom and all that type of stuff like women would, but hey, whether it's true or you know it, this happens. And this next thing is having a hole in your boxers, your brief, whatever you're wearing under, even your shorts. Sometimes some guys wear shorts under their pants, even their joggers. And fellas, I'm gonna just start off with this. And this is a true story, okay? About two and a half years ago to 3 years ago, I met a guy that the hole was at the top of the pants. I could see it so clear because, and now his pants weren't really sagging, but come on. If you're gonna have your hole at the top, you gotta pull your pants up. You can't even let it sag one bit because it was right at the top. And I was shocked because whether he got the hole that day, I don't know, that weekend, that week, you have to make sure you don't have no holes in your brief, in your whatever you wear underneath. It's a huge turn off. Now, in my next video, I'm gonna talk about, like, you know, how you could basically look more attractive, or what you could do for guys. Like, same way a girl can wear, you know, a little cute thing. You know what I'm talking about? You know, like the same way she could do that compared to like granny panties. There's things that you fellas will much rather put on. And I don't want to get into details because this is going to be part 2 once again. But there's things that you guys much rather put on that, are you even really packing? And now you don't have to be. We're not really talking about that, but you could look more attractive. Same way where you could wear joggers or certain pants that will make you look more attractive down there. So backtrack because we're getting close to the end of the video. Fellas, this whole situation is serious. Now, that's the last time I've seen, well, your girl's been in a relationship like, 2.5, almost 3 years ago. So the guy that I met, obviously I was single at the time. But, there was just, let me just say like this, there was kind of no way like I would have took him, even without even speaking to him, I would have like had to take him serious. There was just no way, because it's like, you can't be serious. You have to be serious for yourself before you come around women. That's why I say, you guys, women don't come around you guys setting themselves up, right? Like, and this is how real I want to get. If a woman is interested or knows that there's going to be a way where you're going to go down there, she's going to wear maybe something cute, or chances are she should. She's going to make sure she's shaved, right? Whether she went through her period for some period of time or whatever, the time when it comes around being with you, she's gonna make sure. But here's the thing, if she doesn't care, and I say she doesn't care about you, she doesn't think it's gonna get nowhere, she's gonna pop up like, hey, this is how I am. But obviously she's not expecting nothing to happen. So your mentality becomes, nothing is really gonna happen. Nothing happens for you. Nothing ever. Basically, let me say it this, you can never get kitty because you're not even prepared. So have you ever went through an experience of, you need to make sure you don't have random holes or have a small hole? And maybe it means you got to buy more expensive, not expensive, because females don't even really got to do that. You can affordable, especially when it comes down to underwear and stuff like that. Very, very affordable, right? And you can buy in packages, bulks, whatever. But my point is, if you just randomly got it somehow, or it was a slip up, it's back on you. Because, even if she is your girlfriend or actually taking you really, really, really serious, she's still going to get turned off. And so these little mistakes, fellas, you guys, it happens. And hey, that guy, I think he did know, because come on, like the way that hole was just there, like at least your friend should have told you or something. I don't know. I was really confused, but I must just say, don't be that guy, because I'm telling you, women, and I have to say this, I didn't even have to tell my friend, right? At the time, I didn't have to tell my friend. She's seen it herself. So, hey, just make it a priority to be tip-top shape, because even if you don't ever talk to that girl, or it's just in the room, or you're out there, women notice these things. Remember, because you want her for physical appearance doesn't mean she doesn't want you for physical appearance, just because money and status comes first. So when you're out in public, or even when you see, let's say your girl, and maybe you guys are in a long distance relationship, maybe when you see your girl for that week, make sure everything is tip-top shape. Check everything off. Get rid of the drawers that you don't need. Throw them out. Don't keep them. And last thing I'll just say, because we're really at the end, do not let women basically devalue you. Now, this is your fault, fellas, when you let this happen, because y'all, once again, go in situations expecting maybe these little things not to matter. Maybe for you not to put deodorant that one time, or take care of your hygiene, or shower, or make sure you put double deodorant when you know you sweat more. Or you might be a hairy beast. You might be extremely hairy, and that's cool. But like I said, once again, she could have came across guys that, hey, the hair just stops right before the outer thighs. Does that make sense? But like I said, you happen to have hair on your thighs. You happen, and this is true fact, some guys have hair down below, right? Down below. And y'all, if you guys don't want to hear this shit, maybe it's about you. But no, real talk. Whatever your situation is, your body type, your hygiene, how, your body grows, your hair grows, maintain it. Take care of it. You don't want her not to do the same thing. I mean, well, you want her to basically, smell good too and do the double, right? But for women, it's kind of like more natural. It happens kind of already. And let's say like this, not that you fellas don't always make it a priority, but women do more so, okay? So it's almost more easier for a woman to kind of be like, well, I should have really put perfume on, right? I needed to, like, I walked past those guys, they didn't smell me. Or, you know what? I seen him, or I was gonna see him, and wow, I messed up because I didn't have time. I should have made time to go shower and do this and that and that. It's the same thing for you guys. Take care of yourself. Don't make these mistakes, because she won't see you again. Okay? So last thing, please, fellas, and I mean this, and I'm not even trying to be funny no more, because I'm really about to cut off the camera. Do not have no holes. in your clothing. I'll leave it at that. Just don't have no holes. And if you have a hole, you're better off just taking it off. Or you better have an excuse, man. You better have an excuse. All right. So fellas, let me know once again for that part 2. Well, I'm gonna drop it. You know how it goes. But yeah, gotta still let me know, you know. But most importantly, like other types of videos, I always try to give you guys what you want, trying to give you guys different things as well. So hopefully this video was really informative. But like I mentioned, some of the stuff I'll say in the next video, I'll give you guys a lot more different things that I don't really talk about. And I would also say a lot of random things. Like if you kind of notice, hole in your pants, it's random, but this happens. And I didn't mention to you guys, it wasn't just that guy that I ever seen, like even my friends' boyfriends at the time, like type of things, right? So it might not even be the girl that you want to, but her friend's gonna notice it and go tell the girl that you want. You get me? Okay, so fellas though, did you give this video a big thumbs up? It helps your girl so much. Check out everything down below. My website, Book With Your Girl. And don't forget Patreon and my other channels. Your girl got 2. Okay? Bye, y'all.